Super Surviving Divorce. I'm Sarah. Welcome back. I'm an acupuncture physician in Florida. Here are 3 tips, or a story and 2 tips, that have helped me through my divorce, custody battle, life. Everyone's familiar with Amy Poehler in Parks and Rec, her hilarious show. I think it was her very first episode. At the very end of it, she was the brand new town Parks and Rec manager, and she held a town hall meeting. Well, she fielded questions left and right. She was getting hammered with all these demands that had to be met and parks that had to be fixed. And at the end of it, she turned to the camera and people were filing out behind her. And she said, "Well, I think that went well for the first meeting ever." And this guy walking out in the background says, "Hey, Parks lady, you suck." And she turns back to the camera and goes, "Did you hear that? He called me Parks lady." And that, I was like, what a hilarious, applicable metaphor for life, because you're doing your thing. She was all excited, happy to be in this job, super thrilled that she had her first meeting, and somebody just tried to hammer her down. But she took from it exactly what she wanted to hear, what was nourishing for her. And the fact that it was recognizing her accomplishment and her position. And that was what she hugged, not the "you suck" part, which was awesome. And I was like, that could apply to every single thing in life, right? And if you think about it, people get angry because they're not getting what they want. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's not necessarily that you even offended them. And in divorce and custody, that happens so often. People start throwing dirt, slinging mud, calling names, false accusations. And unfortunately, the people it damages the most are the kids, because they're caught in the middle. But the point of this video is that if you recognize when someone slings an insult, that might not have anything to do with you. It could have everything to do with them stomping their feet and not getting you to do what they want that benefits them. And it's kind of like the kid in the classroom, or a little kid just not getting his candy before dinner, you know? It's the same thing. So if you can just acknowledge, or even not, but take what nourishes you instead of like the slams, because that's not good for you. If it's constructive criticism, by all means, have a conversation and listen to it and learn something from it. But when somebody's just angry and throwing out dirt, we don't have to take that on. That's our choice. Happiness is a choice. So what we hold on to is a choice also, like the stuff that we choose to hear. When people are supportive and kind, we can replay those in our head or be like, thanks, I think I will choose to hold on to that for a minute. And the other thing, we are not here to appease people. We're here for our life's purpose, to walk our walk. And if you know what your priorities are, if it's with good intention and integrity, and if you prioritize your kids and your health and safety and their health and safety, then you're going to walk with intention, and you're going to carry yourself and make choices that are good for you and your kids. So if someone gets angry about that or tries to push your boundaries in a direction that compromises those priorities, you have every right to stand your ground and set a boundary. And if they get mad, that's on them. You don't have to take that on. You don't have to try to console or appease or even compromise what might compromise your values, which, if it's safety and health for you and your kids, no way should that be compromised. And if someone values and respects you, they wouldn't ask you to do that anyway, especially if it's their kids. So remember to pull out the good that you hear, even if there's a little one in a like nasty sentence. And then when somebody gets angry at you, it might just be because they're not getting what they want. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. And it's not your job to appease somebody, especially another adult. You don't have to accommodate, appease, especially if it means compromising your boundaries and your priorities. Those 3 things I have had to remind myself repeatedly over the past few years. It's been really helpful. The funny clips, I mean, laughing is good anyway because it boosts your immune system and releases serotonin and oxytocin and all that. So that always feels good. But great show, Parks and Rec, Amy Poehler. I mean, the funny stuff is what it's worth watching. And sometimes those lessons are like gold. So share this if it's helpful or you think it might be helpful to somebody else, please. And that's the point, to make somebody else's life smoother. You are more capable than you think and stronger than you know. And I'm only putting this information out there because it's been helpful to me. So hopefully it will work for somebody else. And if it doesn't, chuck it out the window. Okay, thank you so much.